Thank you, Mr. Biden. First of all, I don't mean to offend you, but we're all confused, very confused. I must use simple terms here. Blaming the prior administration when immediately after your inauguration, you spitefully finalized 17 executive orders reversing your predecessor's signature policies with ease and pride. That's very confusing. And now, 200 plus days later, and you failed to have reversed or modified the Afghan policy. We're confused of why you couldn't have altered that, perhaps, instead of blaming the prior administration. It makes not much sense. Have you and your military ever heard of the phrase erring on the side of caution? Simple idea. We use it where we're from. It's not very difficult to understand. These are extremely troubling issues that someone with minimal military knowledge would blatantly see the obvious incongruities. Your admirals and generals coming from the finest military schools, are they, West Point and whatnot, are they all, how you say, woke? More concerned with vaginas and combat boots, perhaps? This idea of pulling the military before proper evacuation almost appears as a method of fueling terrorism and a renewed war machine. What are we doing here, Mr. Biden? How else do you explain trillions and trillions upon dollars flying about in the wind, high technology and military equipment, more costlier evacuations because of a mistake, and yet you take profound joy and pride in an evacuation that should not have transpired the way it did? At all. We're very, very confused, and we hope that somebody is accountable for this. The head of the Air Force, perhaps, who didn't give the Afghan people support from the air and left them stranded. As you say, the military weak and fled. Well, they fled because there was no air backup. Well, how do you explain such things, and why isn't there accountability? Who is responsible? Who is the head of your Air Force that allowed that to happen? And I'm sorry, sir, but didn't you say that the buck stops here? The buck stops here.